Yo, shout out to everybody. We got our last story coming up. We just got done talking about the Lakers on another coaching search. We hope that they found what they're looking for. That's only the beginning of problems. They have more that we've documented on the channel. Also, shout out to Patrick Beverly, who don't give a buck. He's throwing basketballs at fans who got big mouths. I don't blame him. I don't think he needs a punishment. I think he needs an applause, because it's high time people start respecting other people and their space. You can't talk to anybody that you don't want somebody to have a reaction. I wouldn't say anything to somebody in private that I wouldn't say in public. And if I have that kind of awareness in myself, fans should have that kind of awareness. I don't care what kind of booze that you on. Trust me, I bet you won't do it again, as my grandmother would say. Shout out to Big Mama. The final story is a Clippers story. It's like the Clippers come up short again. What now? This is out of The Athletic with Sam Amick and Law Murray. That's a wild name. Your first name is Law. That's dope, actually. Yeah. All right. So you have Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. All of that, and you could only win 2 games. Kawhi is always hurt or whatever, but regardless, there shouldn't be a 6-piece nugget in the first round. There should not be a 6-piece nugget against you in the first round with 4 future Hall of Famers. That's just the reality. I'm sorry to say it, but last night in a game that they had to have win, you give up 44 points in the paint. You took 31 3-pointers and only made 8 of them. Come on now. At what point do you abandon the 3-pointer and play inside the perimeter? These are all just legitimate questions. And I know people want to single out what guy's responsible, and their favorite target is Russell Westbrook because Skeletor, Skip Bayless trained you all to go after these people and mind manipulation at ESPN, and they have no credibility and they just make stuff up. But come on, 31 threes, and nobody at no point said, hey, look, we only made 8 of them. Stop taking them. Especially when they're an older team. Oh my goodness. The collective bench only played 21 minutes and dropped a whopping 8 points. Our season's on the line, and all y'all give me is 8 points? Come on now. And you can't blame Russell Westbrook. Can't blame that on him. He only played 9 minutes. He gave you a rebound, an assist, and 6 points. That's beneath him as a player, but that's not all on him. That's not all on him. If he's only going to play 9 minutes, you can't blame him because he wasn't on the floor for the majority of the game. And the moment that you saw Kawhi Leonard go down, you should have been, hey, look, Russ, we need you. We need you to go, Russ. If we want to get this thing to 7, we got to give you more than 9 minutes. James freaking Harden played 43 minutes. The guy was 5 of 16. His offense was nowhere to be found. He was jacking up threes and didn't make not a damn one of them. He took 6. That double-double bullshit stat, that was just stat stuffing at its greatest. The last game, his weird ass went 2 for 12 for 7 points, 1 of 7 from three-point land. That was a home game. He's choked twice, back to back. Nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing about anything this dude does. And if you bring him to task, trust me, a lot of people will be hurt and they be all in their feelings and butt hurt. And I know y'all get all wet and moist in your panties for some good old Russell Westbrook dragon, but he's not the starter. Harden is. Because remember, when they went after Russell Westbrook, Tyronn Lue was like, he's going to have to understand he's got to come off the bench. Yeah, but the way James Harden was playing, he should have always came off the bench. He should do that too. As for Westbrook, I'd ask for a trade in this series. I mean, he's never played over 24 minutes. Let that sink in. Y'all just got a 6-piece nugget. You haven't played over 24 minutes collectively. Get out of there. There's no reason for you to stick around. That's him coming off the bench, but you got to give him more minutes. When Kawhi went down, as I stated earlier, that's a Coach Lue. That's a Coach Lue mistake. Back, just plain and simple. In this series, Russ only took double-digit shots one time, and that was the last game with 11. For a high-volume shooter like Westbrook, he needs more touches and minutes to be effective. Him I can give grace to, but Harden, he get the rough side of the mountain. Cut the beard, cut the act, cut the shit, bro. All of the faking, flopping, dropping through the lane, putting the ball down low and pushing it through and then throwing up shots and acting. Come on, man. And then it's an actual travel. Go through the legs twice, step back, hop back, and then take another step to the side. Bro, that's traveling. I'm not going to take away from the Mavericks win. Shout out to Jason Kidd and the crew. But back on them weak-ass Clippers. Game 6, you trying to make it a Game 7, but you only dropped 20 points in the third quarter. This is coming out of halftime. You got your second win. Everybody's dialed in, and boom, we're at the start of the fourth quarter, and we're down 87-72. Seriously? Seriously. That's what happens. Paul George just had the worst series possible. If you're alleged leader of the pack, you got to shoot better. His best game was Game 4, but he's also had a bad series as well, and you really couldn't tell or care when it came to Game 1. 8 of 20? Bro, 8 of 20? 4 of 12 from three-point land and 6 rebounds. Game 2, 7 of 14, 2 of 5. What this feels like is that guys are calling their shots when you go ahead and you dissect this. Because if you're looking at how many shots I'm going to take from the perimeter, and you look at how many shots that I'm going to take 15 to 20 out, if I dial up those shots and they equal my entire volume of shooting, I'm going to say, okay, well, I went 8 of 20 here. I had 6 three-pointers. And so really in totality, you probably got 26 to 30 shots coming to you. So if I'm shooting the ball 30 times as a starter, and the Clippers, they only shoot the ball. They take, as a combined team, 80-something shots, 84 shots. But if 30 of them going is to one person, James Harden has to shoot that also. So he's got a high volume shooting as well. It doesn't mean you're making them. They don't call them high volume makes. They just call them high volume shots, meaning that you're just going to keep putting up shots no matter what. And what people look at when they look at the stat line, they look at the end results. I look at attempts, I look at percentages, and I look at effectiveness. That's how you really should look at these stat lines, because just you can sit up here and say this guy had a double-double, but if you actually watch the game, it's ineffective. They're getting these when the game is out of control and the game is out of hand. And some people wave the white flag and start putting in guys they normally wouldn't put in. Let's look ahead to the free agency in 2024. For the Clip gang, Westbrook, he's got a player option this summer. Does he leave or stay? Paul George has an option as well. Both are in their mid-30s, 35 on one and 36 on the other. Is this how you want to go out? Do you want a ring to close out your career? If so, you got to leave. You got to leave LA because they're not winning a ring nowhere close. It's not going to happen. Let Kawhi and Harden go down with that ship. You've made max money in your career. It's time to just get the chip chase. Time to chip chase. Nothing wrong with guys going and chip chasing. Ray Allen did it. Nobody sits here and says, oh, Ray Allen, he wasn't this and that in his career. Ray Allen didn't do nothing but chip chase. Nobody ever says that. You know what they say? Oh, there's 3-time champion, Ray Allen, from the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat. That's Ray Allen. That's what they say. That's what they say. They talk about LeBron James because he was chip chasing. They don't sit up here and say, oh, LeBron James, he didn't do nothing but get his titles in different places. No, you know what they say? He's a 4-time NBA champion. You want your name mentioned in that paragraph. You want to be in that pantheon of sports, just memorabilia. But if you stick it out in LA just for the weather, you're not going to be remembered as an NBA champion. You will just be another player, a good player, a skilled player. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with that. But as we've seen, history books, they favor the champions. So, shout out to everybody. We're going to close this out because it's Derby weekend here in the Midwest.